Conversation Hat Podcast.
Welcome back to the Conversation Hat Podcast. It's such a good podcast that Ben is already laughing.
I just really hope that you had pressed record after that terrible thing that was
No,
just
we've
said.
been recording for 2 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Or 8 seconds, as far as the audience knows. The Conversation Hat Podcast is ostensibly a comedy podcast hosted by two people, one of them Liam, one of them Ben. Say hi,
Hello.
Ben.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hello, Liam.
Usually with a guest. This week's guest is Ben's dad. We have a theme tune.
Ben's Dad.
Ben's dad. Hello.
Your own me. How's it going? What's new? And so forth.
Well, I'm now a retired gentleman.
Lazy.
I'm a man of leisure. So I'm looking forward to doing all the things that have been put on the list by my wife for me to do, including get more paper because I'm running out. This list's getting too big.
Using both sides of the paper already.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yes.
Single-spaced, not double-spaced.
Shall we begin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing a
The
thing.
thing.
Pull a question out the hat and then say what it says. That's the whole point of this podcast.
And for those of you listening in black and white, this is on a piece of yellow paper. If you could choose your own name, what would you choose?
Ooh.
Ben Spike Pierson. What would you choose?
I don't know. But that's just a normal, perfectly, exactly my name.
Chosen by one of the Buffy writers also, so you didn't even choose it.
Oh, no.
Well, you chose it, you didn't make it.
I would say I adopted it, but
You straight up stole it.
People started calling it to me.
Oh,
So
okay.
really, I received stolen goods, which means that it's not plagiarism.
Yeah, but ignorance of the law is no excuse. Get in the prison.
But I didn't do it. So you can't say that it was me.
So innocence is also no excuse.
Get into prison.
Get in the prison.
My ex-girlfriend's daughter used to call me Bao, which was fucking adorable.
Half of what a dog says.
Yeah. Or like the small Asian bun.
Or a branch of a tree.
Exactly.
Or what you do in front of the king.
We don't have a king.
And what I do in front of the king isn't necessarily a vow.
Yeah, but this goes out on Sunday. You don't know what's happened in the next few days. And
You heard it here first.
If the Queen is assassinated, this will be used as evidence.
didn't say
Get
it.
into prison.
I didn't say assassinated. That's your word.
Yeah, well, how are you predicting that the Queen's natural death? If the Queen
She's
dies,
proper old.
it's going to be well suspicious on you. Get into prison.
I mean,
Future prison.
there's a ceiling and it's hot.
I
right?
have nothing to do with this. I am not here.
You can tell I'm not here because I just said it.
Yes.
Also, Mick's retired, so you're not a spy anymore.
Yeah.
Though I was working for the Queen at the time, and I'm not now.
Did you have to bow?
All the time. Yes.
Oh.
Kowtow.
See? Don't call the Queen a cow.
Or a tow.
No.
Which is the path or something. Isn't it? That's in the Tower of Pooh.
Is it?
That's nothing to do with the alimentary canals and that sort of thing. Yes. T-A-O, no, T-A-U? Tau?
Don't look at me. I have no idea.
One of those two.
Yeah. One of those Tau.
Yeah. And it's all
One or
about
t'other.
how Taoism and Winnie the Pooh work together. So there you are. By the book.
Get into prison.
I would love to. That sounds amazing. My parents were going to call me Laurie,
As in Hugh. Or as in Eddie Stobart.
Articulated, Laurie.
as in I was really fat and there would have been reversing noises anytime I stood up in class.
Every time you stood up.
Yeah, because it's reversing. Because I'm big like a lorry, you know.
Oh.
So people would know, dodge.
So I'm glad they didn't call me Laurie. I did choose my own name in French class because the teacher suggested to better surround ourselves in French culture, we choose a French name for
Pierre.
the lesson. No, Serge,
Jacques.
like the Pokemon trainer,
Serge.
because that was the same month that I was into Pokemon.
Lieutenant
Serge.
So you named yourself after Lieutenant Surge,
And it
the
was a French
Vermilion
name.
City gym leader from
Could be.
Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and later on Fire Red and Leaf Green.
No, from
And technically, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
no, from the TV show
Oh,
and card game.
nerd.
I'd have gone Charlemagne the Great.
That would have been so much better. So I chose that, but like what the teacher didn't caveat when she suggested that was that would be profoundly uncool, and Liam, you'll be the only person to do that. But she still insisted on calling me Serge for like a full 3 years. I was like, this is getting really fucking lame.
I would have asked to be called Raoul or Vlad.
One of those is slightly more French.
Vlad. I would have asked to be called Vlad.
And
And if you go, that's not a French name, he emigrated.
He
French
identifies
people can
as
be
French.
called Vlad.
Yeah, I'd like to identify as being French, please.
Can you speak any French? Zoutalon.
I have a stripy shirt and a beret.
Baguette, monsieur.
Actually, the word beret is French,
Got a flat cap.
particularly from the south of France, down near the Spanish bit, down near Po and places like that.
The Spanish bit, also known as Spain.
I was like, go down to France, the Spanish bit of France.
Well, no, the Spanish bit of France is currently trying not to be part of Spain.
That's true.
That's probably why they don't get onto Brexit. No.
No one else is. No one else has over the last 3 fucking years.
Scotland going through. Yeah, Spanish don't want them to go for because then Catalans might go for and I would point out at this point that my hand gestures were magnificent at that point.
There was
they
a
were
lot of
pretty good.
gesticulation going on.
Yeah.
I think, like small puppies, we've wandered away from the subject, haven't we?
I would choose the name Brexit for myself. I wouldn't. That'd be stupid.
It would be stupid. Yeah. Good talk.
Thanks, Bowie.
I think I'd move away from names. Names are so classist. Oh, he's Tristan, is he? Oh, you know immediately someone's called Tristan. He's not come from a working part of Glasgow, has he?
True.
Oh no, but there's Tristan is either in Eton or Council House.
So yeah, I wouldn't have a name.
Would you just choose a number or a...
Well, to move away from being so... Yeah, I'd be number 1.
one?
No, I don't think that worked. That worked once in Citizen Smith in the 1970s. What about a picture or a colour or an image?
Or a sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
A name is a sound.
A name is a sound, that's true, but you can also write it down.
Because if you called,
For instance.
yeah,
You wouldn't be able to write that. You'd be able to do onomatopoeia, but it wouldn't quite articulate the...
FRP, 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 FRP,
Yeah.
PP.
Or
The Q at the
by a
end.
gesture or some sort of mime.
There's a...
You could stand up and whittle on the carpet.
That would be difficult to do over the phone.
Onomatopoeia.
P on a mat.
Yeah.
There's a Fry and Laurie sketch that's basically a guy whose name is does a little dance, turns around and drops a pen on the floor. And the guy's asking how to write it down. It's like, well, it's do a little dance, turn around and drop a pen on the floor, so you tell me. It's a good sketch. Hugh Laurie gets punched in the face. Just the punchline for most of their sketches.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you drop the pen on the floor at the end of the name, that's okay because you can still write it.
Yeah, you can still write it on the floor.
Apart from the fact it's covered in urine.
Yes.
Yeah, because someone's pissed on the mat.
Yeah.
I'm incontinent.
Ah, back to France.
The Spanish bit.
Right, I think we covered that.
Right, so you're what?
Surge.
Surge.
Yeah.
Pissing on the floor and bow.
Did you choose any of them?
Yeah. I said bow.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Ex-girlfriend's daughter. She could say Ben.
Chose not to.
Well, yeah. It was like, come on. It was like, come on.
I'm gonna-
Who's that?
Sausage.
And point to me as you go, bow.
I'm going to call you
Say
sausage.
Ben. Ben. Okay, now who's that? Bow. So, yeah.
I'm going to start
Like,
calling
no, you have to call him Ben. I was like, no, she fucking doesn't. My name is Bow and she knows it.
I'm going to start calling you sausage.
Why?
Apparently we could just... It's a free-for-all with your name, apparently.
No.
Shut up, sausage.
Okay.
Cool. You'd be Frankfurter.
I was actually... No, I'm quite all right with sausage now. Bow Sausage Pierson.
But it's only sausage if you've been bad. Just day to day, it's saucy.
Oh dear. Do you understand TikTok? If so, please explain. I know what TikTok is.
Onomatopoeia again.
It's the app that like you film yourself basically lip syncing a famous line or a song.
Yeah,
I think
that's broadly it.
you've done one of those and you sent it to me to like moves like Jagger and
Dub smash.
yeah, it's basically that, but wasn't it used by paedophiles or something?
Everything can be used by paedophiles.
Except the elderly.
Ooh.
That went dark. Let's not go down that
No,
route.
no, you're
But
really
no, I
onto
swear it
something.
was like there were warnings going out because there were children, even though it had an age limit of like
Yes.
however old. I only said 11, but that still doesn't. Yeah.
I think technically it is something like
16.
very early teens or mid-teens that you're technically not allowed to.
But
use
children
any kind
were
of
still
website.
going on it, and
But you just
then
got to tick a
could-
box, innit?
You could send messages and
Yeah,
stuff.
I think
So they were worried that predators were going to come and.
the demographic of TikTok is like super, super young, like younger than YouTube, which is basically impossible. Like you can't really articulate. You don't have opposable thumbs at that age, but it's still huge in that demographic. So I think it attracted a lot of unpleasant dudes, and it is mostly dudes.
Or it
Thank
might
you
have
very
just
much,
been a
Ben,
newspaper.
for pointing out that I took part in that quite.
I think you have
quite
more
happily.
No,
experience with
you were
TikTok
in the
than
Dub
any of us.
Smash one. That was before the news said that sex pests were on it.
I must have.
So I was like, you were sending me videos of you singing to Muppet songs. I think that's all right.
Was it erotic though?
Oh yes.
What was the question? TikTok. I feel like we've covered TikTok. That's you make, and you can sort of collaborate and make responses to videos and stuff, and it's basically fine. Or you're a paedophile, in which case it's less fine.
And it really pissed me off when every bloody advert on Facebook was just that.
Yep.
You just scroll down and there'd be that bloke doing the
I have been looking at Facebook.
We get it. You don't have to.
Golly.
You don't.
Right, that's now in
Not
everyone's
on my
head.
Facebook, it isn't.
Oh, that's because you.
That's because I look at sensible things, not childish tosh.
And this was also like 6 months ago, and you're getting on a bit, so you've probably forgotten.
Who are you?
See? My name is Bow Saucy Pierson.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Saucy Bow.
E.
Next question.
MC squared.
E equals MC squared.
Does it?
So the end of infinity is energy.
This is
Also
a
starts with
long
an E. E.
Why?
Because I said so.
No, that's the end of energy.
Conversation.
From Jack Normal. Hi, Jack Normal.
Hi, Jack!
If vampires have no reflection, how do they do their hair and makeup? Question mark.
Oh, they got people for that.
They got dudes. They got.
They got familiars, didn't they?
It's people who Strictly Come Dancing.
Claudia Winkleman does it.
Yep, I'll bet she does. I'll bet she does. But, yeah, black hair, swept back, fluffy fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
she is a vampire.
I
I've
think
never
it's-
seen her reflected in a mirror.
it's
Isn't-
just practice.
If
because
she's
that's why
like
they're so
projected
old.
through cameras and stuff, that's glass and mirrors. So wouldn't her being on TV be a reflection rather than an
No,
actual-
it's not glass and mirrors. It's the silver, isn't it?
It is the silver.
Oh, it is the
Yeah.
silver. But wouldn't that
Soaks 'em up.
hurt her? No, it's werewolves.
No, well, it would hurt them,
Right.
but they're just not reflected in it. If they went up and licked the back of a mirror, it would hurt, yes. Because they'd be
Right.
touching the silver bits.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Although modern mirrors aren't made with silver, so technically they would be able to be seen in the
And they'd have to get the mirror and turn it round and probably scrape off the paint that's on the back of it to get to the very thin coating of silver oxide that was on the back. If I was a werewolf, I wouldn't do that.
No.
No. No.
I'd make a point of not doing it.
I think you'd have
Yeah.
better things to do. You'd be frolicking mostly. Yeah. Hunting.
Rolling in mud,
Yeah.
sniffing other werewolves.
When Britain was great.
So yeah, I would say modern mirrors because they ain't got silver in them. And otherwise, maybe they're just really good at it because they're really old, aren't they, vampires, normally? So they've had a lot of practice.
Practicing for a long time.
Yeah.
They've got the healing factor, so whenever they nick themselves shaving, it's healed pretty damn quick.
Do vampires bleed?
Yeah.
Like same as humans, or?
Well, they must do. Because they drink the blood to...
But then can they drink their own blood for sustenance?
I think it would sort of be a bit like drinking your own wee. You'd get something from it, but not much because it's already been used.
They do actually sustain themselves on blood, so it'd be like drinking your own garlic bread.
If
Yeah, but it's
they,
already used.
Not garlic.
But if we have... Yeah, not garlic. But if we eat pizza,
I do,
we poo it out.
eventually.
So that's like saying, oh, we sustain ourselves on pizza. I could eat the pizza that comes out in my poo.
well, you could.
It's
do.
all been used. It's not the stuff.
Recycled.
That
No, it
pizza.
wouldn't be all used. There'd still be some in there. Eventually, you think, I've had enough of this poo. I'm going to go and get some more pizza. But back on vampires, surely they can survive for very, very long times without any sustenance at all.
as long as
locked
they
in a
got the
crypt,
blood, though, they need the
Being
blood
shipped
bits.
across in crates from Vampire Land to
Whitby.
Thingy, North Britain. Yes, that's him.
But yeah, but there were sailors on there to eat. But some of them do sleep for ages, don't they?
Surely
For like
the
years.
captain
So
of the ship would realise getting a bit short on sailors. And,
depends
something's
how
going
far
on
it
here.
is. He could have had a big lunch before he got in his box.
I've written down I've had enough poo, let's get pizza as a episode name.
Yeah, maybe they hibernate like voles.
Yeah.
Voles,
Yeah,
Start with the same letter in it, so
yeah.
it's more likely than not.
and it's love
it ends in an
the
E.
other way around.
Both
That is
both
true.
of them end in an E.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why they
I
live
was
forever.
I was checking
Voles
the
and
maps there.
vampires live forever because the AE is infinite.
Bloody hell.
It's the end of infinity.
But how do they do their makeup and hair?
Practice.
Voles, don't bother.
Voles.
Voles don't bother with it.
No.
No, that's what they do. Vampires get the voles to come and
Voles.
spruce them up.
Trained voles.
Trained voles. There you go, Jack Normal. It's trained voles.
Hope
Yep.
that's
Cleared it up.
cleared everything up
Yep.
for you.
I mean, I certainly have no follow-up questions. And what a spooky question.
Spooky question to happen on a
Spooky time of
spooky
year.
time of year.
Spooky podcast.
Spoopy.
Yeah, spoopy. 3 spoopy, 5 me. Nope, no one got that. That's fine.
Skimmed, semi-skimmed, whole, cream, human, goat, cocoa nut, soya, almond, oat, rice, cashew,
Most on-brand childhood story. What do we mean there by most on-brand?
So something that is typically archetypally you. So Ben being drunk as a child would be on brand for Ben.
Thanks.
Or being in a frying pan? Sausage.
That would be on brand.
Thanks. I had my first beer when I was 5.
That counts as childhood.
I had some of your carling.
You little devil.
And for most of my life, I've been unable to drink carling because I thought it was horrid.
Yes, well, to be honest, you're quite right.
Mm.
An on-brand story of Ben's childhood. A long time ago, we used a big brown sheet,
Yeah, this was fun.
which is sort of like an old eyes-down bedspread type thing. And I put Ben into it, picked up the 4 corners and span him round ever so fast.
Oh yeah.
And he thought that was a great game and said, all right, again. All right. But after I do, you've got to guess who you are. And then I spun him ever so fast and then stopped and said, right, who are you? He said, Ben. I said, you looked. I didn't.
What I should have said was sausage.
Yeah, then it would have been the world's longest punchline.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, couldn't do that now.
No,
Lost the sheet. When I was young,
it was quite a while ago
this
for you, wasn't
time of year, scrumping was still a thing.
Oh
it?
yeah.
Yes, thievery.
Yes, for the youth of today, that was the innocent pastime of going and breaking into people's gardens, stealing fruit from their trees.
Did you go cow tipping as well?
No.
For lack of cows, or
We had no cows, and to be fair, we're unaware at that point of the possibilities that cat tipping has.
you didn't know that cows existed in 3 dimensions.
Looking back on it, we could probably have gone over Coldham's Common and gone horse tipping,
But then I'd probably kick you in the head.
Yeah.
yeah, and bite you, as they used to. But yeah, used to go and collect loads of these not quite ripe apples and think, hey, you got loads of apples. What are we going to do with these? This is my big brother and me. So we did the sensible thing and went round to see Big Nana. Nana was quite a character. So she'd say nothing, but the next day there'd be a few apple pies to turn up at the house. We could go on at length about Minnie Didlick, which was
Pardon?
her maiden name. My mum's mum was a Shropshire lass. She was born and brought up on Clee Hill, which is quite a steep thing near Ludlow in Lancashire, in Shropshire. And the little village school at the bottom of the hill was Bedlam School. So yeah, she learnt at Bedlam.
At Bedlam.
Yes, there are many tales, including her laying out, as in fisticuffs, one of the American visiting forces during the Second World War. It's the Falcon pub that used to be on East Road. Was divided into race segregation areas in those days because you had the black GIs as well as the officers, and the officers were allowed in one bar and black GIs had to go in the other bar, and she was inside with the officers in, and the black GI came into that bar, and some loud-mouthed officer started giving him, right, get out of the whites only bar. So Big Nana took him outside and had a word, laid him on the floor.
Was that word punch?
Yes.
Wow. Good stuff.
Yeah. There are other stories and there are ruins of stories. Some of which are probably true and therefore best not be said.
Yeah.
This is... Yeah, it's funny having, like, family lies and, like, legends that you know sort of aren't true. And I was talking about my dad's dad with my dad recently, and it turns out all of the stories we were told just complete bull. And Dad was just like, yeah, I actually don't know where he was in the Second World War, but I know several stories that are almost definitely not true. Don't know where he actually was. Somehow he managed to lie his way into, like, the Scottish paratroopers. I was like, he was terrified of heights. Not Scottish. And yet somehow he was being dropped into France and Germany by air. I don't know how he did that. He was terrified of heights. But, like, that's the only thing we know about him because of the medals, unless he stole them.
Just got pushed out the plane by Scottish people.
Yeah, could have been. They worked it out. I said, get the fuck out of here.
Could
So
be
we
a
know
worry
nothing
being
about
a
him.
Scottish paratrooper, isn't it? With a kilt.
You got to hold it down. pull the cord and hold it down.
Stop looking, you German bastards!
Germans are on the floor going, 9, sehr gut.
What was the question? On-brand story. Yes. Children's stories.
Well,
yes.
we have.
We
Yeah.
have. Liam.
I'm trying to think
letting
of
the side down.
any, because
With your lack of childhood.
most of my childhood stories involve me being sick or asleep.
I mean, that is on
Well,
brand.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
say it sounds pretty on
Yeah.
brand to me.
I'm sure there's a couple that are actually, like, horrific and hilarious, but I literally can't remember a single one. Maybe I'll edit one in. Who knows?
And to be fair, you're not remembering your child. That's kind of on point as
Yeah,
well.
that all makes sense.
Just stumbling
Yeah.
aimlessly.
Falling forwards perpetually.
Always forwards.
Right, how are we doing for time, Ben?
I'd say we could possibly squeeze in one more.
Excellent. Off you go. Danke.
Conversation.
This from a Mr. Jason Phillips.
Sup, Jason Phillips?
Greetings, Jason. What is the ultimate takeaway?
Oh,
whilst he was in America, I told him to sample the In-N-Out burger, which is the best takeaway burger.
Is that like the In-N-Out pizza where you keep eating your poo?
Nah, it's a bit different than that.
Okay. A bit.
Like with McDonald's, it's sort of like...
You shove some up your...
Yeah, you shove some poo up your ass and pizza comes out your face.
South Park did it.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, you'd think it was like McDonald's or Burger King kind of thing. But when you go up and like, hey, I'll have an In-N-Out burger, please. They then go, okay, and then they put the meat on the grill. So it's not like, right, we'll fry up loads of these and then just add them on to
Yeah.
whoever orders. It's right, we've all got 2 on, pop 2 on and cook them so they are raw
Bespoke.
and then cooked specifically for you.
Yeah.
Proper fresh lettuce and tomato. Absolutely astounding.
Mm-hmm.
My mate Cheyenne and one of her friends have got like a burger ranking list. And In-N-Out burgers
That's
are
on
up.
brand. That is very on brand for them.
In-N-Out burgers are like high up with the gourmet, proper, go to a restaurant type burgers. They are that good.
Interesting.
So, In-N-Out burger, technically it could be taken away.
Yeah, that would be the out aspect.
So I would possibly go for those
Yeah.
because they are damn ass tasty.
I would hope something be called In-N-Out. It was somewhere you can go in there, fast food, in and out,
Yeah.
rather than try this. It'll be in a second and it'll be out again in 2 seconds.
That's, less
Which
good.
could actually be the ultimate fast food, because
Yes.
the ultimate is the last one you'll ever eat. The one with a good high degree of food poisoning could do it for you.
So you're saying the ultimate takeaway would be the meals on death row?
It could be.
Nah, those are eaten.
Yeah, but
Then they take them away.
Yes. No, so the ultimate takeaway is the...
Grim Reaper.
Yeah,
it's death.
pretty ultimate. I'm going to say either Chinese food or pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on my mood.
Well, no, you have to pick one of them now.
Right now, I could go for pizza.
Okay.
Pizza.
Any specific?
Perfect Pizza on Mill Road's pretty good.
It is pretty
Big up
good.
Cambridge. Also, Cherry Box on Cherry Hinton Road. Big up. Also. Yeah.
Now, it's going to be deep fried haggis from the fish and chip shop in Glasgow, not
the
in
one
Edinburgh.
I
with
might change my
fried
answer.
pus.
Yeah, the deep fried or lightly fried pus and new life forming inside the haggis of the chip shop in Edinburgh, not to be recommended, but the one in Glasgow, oh yes, crispy on the outside.
The best fried pus in Scotland.
Indeed. The best Scotland has to offer, which isn't saying much.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh.
My favourite naughty meal to make at home is haggis nachos, which was inspired by a Edinburgh restaurant which makes haggis nachos and pictures of mojitos. Oh, the times we lost.
My favourite, like, just mush together quick comfort food. It's what we call a Sainsbury's feast. So it's an Admiral's fish pie, done in the oven, not microwaved.
Yeah. It's pastry in it. You can't microwave it. Heathen.
No,
You shouldn't microwave
fish
it.
pie.
Yeah.
Where it's got the fish and the cream with the potato on top and the
Oh,
cheese.
sorry. Right.
Yeah.
But still, though, yeah.
No,
but
but
pie's
yeah.
in the oven. Come on.
I mean, you can microwave them. It takes like 9 minutes, but pop them in the oven and it is
God, isn't Brexit enough?
so much better.
Pie's in the oven. Britain can still be great.
Pies in the oven, and then toad in the hole. Aunt Bessie's toad in the hole because we ain't fanning about.
No, we're not.
And some bird's eye potato waffles, which are waffly versatile,
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can do
and just
anything
have
with
that. And carby as hell, but my God, it's like the love that you never received.
Oh,
them. Finally.
When I was living in a shared house many moons ago, and the ideal meal was actually going back to what we were saying before we started about mashed potato. Instant mashed potato mixed with a generous helping of a tin of pilchards,
Ooh.
all juice, everything slopped into one saucepan, a tin of marifat peas, the whole thing chucked in on top, stirred around until thick stodge is formed,
Fishy pea mash.
then eaten with one spoon. You
That's-
have one saucepan, one spoon to wash up. You've got roughage, you've got protein, you've got carbohydrates. It is marvellous.
That's the worst thing I've ever
It's the
heard.
breakfast of champions.
I know it's the worst thing that I've ever heard,
Since
but
reading
I
about-
kind of want to try it.
Since reading about Louis C.K., that's the worst thing I've ever heard. Topical.
So, Sainsbury's Feast and In-N-Out Burger,
Yeah. Right now, pizza.
pizza.
Yeah. If we were going Chinese, it's Mado House on Cherry Hinton Road, opposite Cherry Box.
So what was it? Pizza and...
Chinese food.
No, the home thing that you said.
Oh, haggis nachos.
Haggis nachos.
Big up.
And then whatever the hell Dan makes.
And
Fish pea mash.
haggis takeaways, and death,
Haggis takeaways and that weird mashed potato things.
and death.
Cool.
So to
Hope
wrap
that's
up.
answered your question, Jason.
Yeah,
Thanks
sorry.
muchly.
Sorry, Jason.
So this is the conversation hat. The conversation hat.
So to wrap up, the new thing that we've started is Liam, throughout the podcast recording, has been writing down humorous sentences to use as the title for this show. He will now read them out, and we get to pick what one is the good one.
Democratic process, and we will not have a second referendum. Or indeed a third one. Saucy bow.
Saucy bow.
Saucy bow. I've had enough poo, let's get pizza. Bit long, but I like it. And 9 zigooch.
I think it's got to be. It's between Nine Zigooch and the Pooey Pizza.
I'm going to go poo and pizza every time.
Let's go
I've
poo
had
pizza.
enough poo. Let's get pizza.
I mean, that sums up just everything. Excellent. That was the Conversation Hat podcast. If you want to submit your own questions to the podcast, you can do so through Twitter and Instagram at Convo Hat Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Conversation Hat Podcast, and leave us a message. Or just post on the wall.
That works too.
That also works. If you want us to do this only better, then you can find us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Conversation Hat Podcast.
Give us money.
We like money. It sustains us.
We don't have any.
And we're poor. There will be live streams as well. Those events are up on Facebook and we advertise them quite regularly on Twitter. If you want to see us do this live, but not directly in front of your person.
Thanks for listening, peeps and peeples.
Listening. Toodles!
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Conversation hat.
Conversation hat.
Conversation Hat Podcast.
Conversation hat.
Conversation hat.
Hat Podcast. Podcast. Hat. Conversation Hat Podcast.